Andy, did you hear that whistle?
Sure do, Amos. That whistle means rinse so white, rinse so bright, rinse so new.
Yeah, that's right. It means that this is Sunday and we're on the air for 1950 Rinso with Solium.
The Amos and Andy Show with Ernestine Wade, Lulubin, Johnny Lee, Elvie Allman, Chester Hairston, Jeff Alexander and his orchestra, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. Yes, sir, the Amos and Andy Show, brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of new 1950 Rinso with Solium, the soap that gets your clothes whiter and brighter than new.
Rinso white, rinso bright,
Rinso new.
Happy little wash day song.
Well, tonight, Sapphire Stevens finished up early with the supper dishes, and she and her husband, the Kingfish, decided to take in a movie. Right now, they're back home and just about to get ready for bed.
George, I really enjoyed that picture tonight. It was so sweet with that young couple finally ending up getting married.
No, it wasn't too bad.
I understand the picture is so popular, they're going to make another one about them same two people.
Oh, they're going to make a seagull to the thing, huh?
Yeah, they're going to take it from the time they was married and show their married life. I wonder what they'll call it.
Well, a good name for it might be Into the Valley of Death or something like that. Boy, I'm really tired tonight. My sick ear acting bent up on... Holy smokes, who could that be at the door this hour tonight? I better peek through the curtain and see who it is. Maybe it's the landlord sneaking up here about his rent or telegram with bad news in it. Yeah.
Well, be careful now, George.
Yeah, let me peek through the curtains here. Sapphire, bolt the door, turn out the lights, quick, hurry up. Push the bureau up against the door, barricade everything.
George, what is it? What is it, a burglar?
Worse than that, it's your brother Leroy.
You say it's Leroy? George, you unbolt that door this very minute and let him in.
Well, now, wait a minute, Sapphire. That's like inviting in the bubonic plague. And on top of that, he got his suitcases with him and everything.
George, Leroy is my brother. Now, you open that door, and this time I want you to be nice to him.
All right, okay.
Leroy, come in, come in.
Hello, sister. Hello, brother-in-law, dear.
Hello, Leroy. What happened? Did you run you out of Chicago again?
Oh, no, George. I just thought I'd come to town to stay with you for the Christmas holiday.
Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
You really established the beachhead early, didn't you? What's the matter with you? We ain't slugged it out for Thanksgiving yet.
Leroy, you must be starved. George, I'm going to get Leroy something in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Sapphire. Make him a nice fat sandwich. And make it out of ant paste if you got any.
Now, I want you to be nice to Leroy.
George, you ain't mad with me for dropping in on you like this, is you?
Me mad with you? Come on, Leroy. Let's go over here and sit down on the sofa.
All right, George. Sapphire, he tripped me.
Oh, shut up.
So your brother-in-law done hit town, huh, Kingfish?
Yes, and the old goofy is here, all right. Oh, I tell you, it's really something. When I left home this morning, he was on his third breakfast.
Tell me this, how'd they manage to get you this time?
Well, he was telling me, I asked him how he got you, and you see, he was at Tan Ferran racetrack, and he started by hopping a freight car to San Francisco. Then he done transferred to a refrigerator car at Kansas City. Thawed himself out, and then he switched to Chicago to the New York Central, arrived last night on a load of gravel.
A load of gravel? He must have been a mess, all right.
Oh, I tell you, last night when he stood on that tile floor in the bathroom and started undressed, sounded like somebody was shelling peas in there.
Yeah, well, I sympathize with you, Kingfish.
Yeah, well, it still wasn't as bad as last summer when they arrived on the cattle car. We had to keep him out on the fire escape for 2 days.
You know, hearing all about this brother-in-law sure make me glad that I ain't married.
Oh, this one I got is a dilly, all right. He really something at the dinner table.
He is, huh?
Oh, yeah, last night, when the meat platter hit the table, you ought to see the way he wheeled the knife there. I thought for a minute there I was eating with the Three Musketeers. He was...
Yeah, I noticed you got a few new scars on your knuckles there.
I wish I could figure out some way to get rid of that, Leroy. On top of everything else, he wearing my suits. That's what they done. Yeah, I got to race him to the closet every morning.
Well, getting rid of a vulture like that ain't gonna be easy, I'll tell you that.
And I got to get rid of Leroy some way. He drives me crazy.
Listen, how about letting him know that he ain't wanted?
Well, I tried giving him a gentle hint. Be a little subtle, but that didn't work.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I throw the suitcases out the window.
Well, maybe you gotta make a stronger attack than that.
Well, I tried that, too.
You did, huh?
Yeah, this morning when he walked in, I was laying for him.
Oh, you was?
Oh, yeah, the first thing he said was good morning.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, as soon as he said good morning, I hauled off and punched him right in the nose.
Sure, huh?
Yeah, but even that backfired on me.
It did, huh?
Yeah, he bled all over my new suit. Well, hello there, Leroy. What you doing strolling along the street there?
Well, Amos, I just had to get out of the house. The Kingfish and Sapphire's battling again.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yeah, and I wanted to get out of firing range before I get popped on the head with a vase.
Yeah, I guess the missiles they throw ain't exactly the guided kind. I don't know.
But you know, Amos, I think I got the remedy this time to stop him from fighting.
If you got a way to cure that, that's the biggest remedy since penicillin, I know that. What you got in mind?
Well, when I was back home last summer, I come across an old love letter that the Kingfish wrote to Sapphire before they was married, and I want to show it to him.
Yeah, well, if they was to read a thing like that, it might help them realize that underneath the fighting how much they love each other, I guess.
Yeah, I got the letter right here in my pocket. I'm going to show it to them when they're in a good mood.
Hey, Leroy, I just noticed there, ain't that the Kingfish's gray flannel suit you wearing around here?
Oh, yeah. He got a new suit of long underwear that I wanted to get a hold of, too, but I couldn't get it.
Why not?
He's sleeping in it.
Well, if I was you, Leroy, just so there won't be no trouble, I'd go home and put that gray flannel suit in the Kingfish's closet or something.
Yeah, let him have his old gray flannel suit. His blue one fits me better anyhow.
Yeah.
Hi, Sapphire. So nice of you to drop in. Too bad you wasn't here a few minutes ago. You could have met my brother Leroy.
Oh, I'd like to have met him. I heard such wonderful things about him.
Really? What'd you hear?
Well, that he's single and, well, I didn't stop to hear the rest of it.
Well, sit down, Fluorescent. I was just getting ready to send some clothes out to the cleaners. I better go through this gray flannel suit of George's and see if he left anything in the pockets. Let's see here. Here's a note. Who could he be writing to? My dearest darling.
My dearest darling? Go on, go on.
My dearest darling, I love you madly. You're so young and beautiful. I cannot live without you. Signed, your affectionate sweetheart. Heavens, my husband is writing love letters to another woman.
I knew it. You just can't trust men.
But I never expected this of George. Not an old, bald-headed man like him.
Listen, honey, you know the old saying, just because there's no leaves on the trees, it don't mean that there's no life in the limbs.
Happy little wash day song. For a wash that's whiter and brighter than new. Rinso washes, Rinso new. Rinso white,
Whiter than new,
Rinso bright.
brighter than new,
Rinso white, Rinso bright.
Rinso new.
Rinso new. It's an amazing fact. 1950 Rinso with Solium gets white clothes whiter, washable colors brighter than new. Rinso new. Even on rainy days, Rinso puts sunshine in your wash. No other soap can make your wash so white, so bright, because no other soap contains the scientific sunlight ingredient Solium. 1950 Rinso gets out more dirt. Yes, gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. And yet Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. Get Rinso today. See your wash become whiter, brighter than new.
Rinso white, Rinso bright.
Rinso new.
Happy little wash day song.
Oh, Henry Van Porter. Come in, Henry.
Thank you, Sapphire. Thank you. I just dropped in to say hello, or as the French say, auf Wiedersehen.
Well, it's nice to see you, Henry.
Say, Sapphire, is something wrong? You look like you were suffering from a bad case of melancholic.
Well, Henry, something terrible's happened. George is interested in another woman. I found a love letter in his suit pocket that he wrote to a young girl.
Another woman, huh? Well, Sapphire, I guess this is just another case of the maternal triangle. What you gonna do about it?
Henry, I think I got the answer. I'm going to fight fire with fire. If it's a young girl he wants, I'm going to look and act just as young as she is. What do you think of the idea?
Well, nothing is impossible.
I'm going to dress young, act young, and take an interest in young things.
Oh, you're going to be like a regular college co-ed, huh?
That's exactly right, Henry.
Well, I hope it works, Sapphire. And listen, I wouldn't throw that love letter away, neither. It might come in handy later on as evidence.
Don't worry. I got it hid away in my bureau drawer.
Well, this is certainly a shock about the Kingfish. I'm happy to say that after 20 years of marriage, I have never thought of looking at another woman. I consider myself far above all that.
I'm sure you do, Henry. By the way, would you care to stay for a cup of tea?
Oh, no, thank you, Sapphire. No, thank you. I must be going. You know, my darling wife, Clara, is working late tonight, and I want to catch the first show down at the Burlesque Theater.
Well, then, sorry I asked you to come over to my house here for lunch, but just made the mistake. Ain't nothing here.
Yeah, your brother-in-law Leroy sure cleaned out the icebox all right.
Hey, look here. He even left a note in the icebox for Sapphire. Look here. Say, dear Sapphire, from now on, please do not put the pig's feet in the deep freeze compartment. I had to eat the last two with an ice pick.
Well, listen, Kingfish, it's a nice day out. We might walk down to the... Hey, wait a minute. Look out the front window, Kingfish.
Out the front window? What is it, Andy?
Look at there, that young gal.
Oh, you mean the one with the sloppy Joe sweater and the skirt?
Yeah. Funny thing, she is the oldest looking young gal I done ever seen.
Hey, look at that gal, yeah. Hey, she's an old toad, all right. Hey, wait a minute. I just noticed. That toad belongs to me. That is Sapphire.
Yeah, it sure is. That's her, all right. And she's coming in, too. Look here.
Yeah, did you get a load of her? She even wearing bobby socks, ain't it?
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, let me open the front door here and let Margaret O'Brien in, yeah. Well, I'll open the door, yeah. Sapphire.
Greetings, kids. What's cooking good looking?
What's that?
I was just down to the Platter Palace.
The Platter Palace?
Yeah, that's where they sell the discs, the biscuits, the platters. And that Perry Como's got out a new biscuit that's really dreamy. Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger.
Holy smokes, Kingfish, she must have hit a bad bottle of soda pop or something.
Yeah, say, what happened to you, Sapphire, and what's that outfit you got on there?
Oh, it's new. Ain't it dreamy? I thought I'd buy this youthful sweater and skirt, and I'll tell you something else. It was wonderful being able to slip into a size 12.
Oh, you bought shoes, too, huh?
Hey, Sapphire, ain't you done something to your hair?
Yeah, I noticed it's different. It ain't got that wet mop effect no more.
Well, George, all the slick chicks is wearing it this way.
Oh, it is, huh? Is the slick chicks featuring the bald spot in the back like that, too?
Yeah, why don't you wear one of them fancy-colored silk bananas over your head, Sapphire? Then your bald head won't show.
Well, I ain't got no time to make up lip music with you sad lads. I'm due for my rumble lessons.
Rumble lessons? Sapphire, I'm putting my foot down. I don't want you taking no rumble lessons.
But why not,
At
George?
your age, you're liable to break every bone in your body in the first 8 balls.
George, don't be so positively gruesome. Well, I gotta scamper. South America, take me away. Silly goose, silly goose, silly goose, silly goose.
Oh, you know, Kingfish, at Sapphire's age, this thing worries me.
What do you mean, Andy?
My dear old grandmother went just like that. I wonder what's wrong with her anyway.
Well, I don't know, Andy. It looked to me for some reason like she's trying to act young.
Just how old is Sapphire anyway?
39, Andy.
When's she gonna be 40?
Well, offhand, I say not for another 5 years.
Yeah, well, that's the way that...
Come in, the door's unlocked.
Well, I was doggone afraid. I was at the higher, fellas.
Hey, Shorty, you must have passed Sapphire on the way in. Did you notice a new hairdo?
I'll say it was the most beautiful. It It was the most becoming. It was the lovely. She ought to sue somebody.
No, Shorty. It looked like, for some reason or other, Sapphire is trying to look young.
Young, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Say, that's a bad sign. You know, Sapphire's at a dangerous age. That's a time when women get tired of their husbands and start getting interested in young fellas.
Yeah, you know, Shorty might have something there, Kingfish.
Well, now, wait a minute, Anna. She don't have to be interested in somebody else, you know. She might be getting all fixed up like that just to please me.
To please you. Look, Kingfish, when you puts on a Spencer funeral, you ain't try to impress the corpse.
Yeah, that's right, Kingfish. If I was you, I'd keep my eyes open. It never pays to trust a female woman.
Yeah, you can't trust no woman.
Oh, yeah, I'm the one that ought to know, too. I went around with one gal for 5 years. I even become engaged to her.
Oh, you did, huh?
Oh, yeah. And on the night after I proposed to her, I asked her if she'd give me a good night kiss. And she said yes. So I broke the engagement right then and there.
Yeah, well, why did you break the engagement, Shorty?
How could I ever trust a gal who'd kiss a guy with a face like mine?
Hey, Kingfish, what you think about what Shorty said there?
Well, listen, Anna, what's the use of kidding myself? I got nothing to worry about. I know Sapphire's crazy about me.
Yeah, that's right. Now, how about something to eat?
Well, Anna, seeing that Leroy done cleaned out the icebox here, we better go out for lunch.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, tell you what I'll do. I'll go in Sapphire's dresser drawer here and get some change. Then we'll go down to the hot dog stand and have a feast here, boy.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's see where she keep a change here this time. Well, what's this note you got here in the dresser drawer? My dearest darling. Andy.
What's the matter?
Andy, I done found a love letter in Sapphire's drawer. And now I got the whole thing figured out.
Well, what you mean?
Well, Andy, the reason Sapphire acting young ain't to play up to me.
It ain't?
No, it's on account of another man. Listen to this note I just found, Andy.
Yeah, what'd it say?
It say here, my dearest darling, I love you madly. You are so young and so beautiful. I cannot live without you. Signed, your affectionate sweetheart. Andy, look at there. Tell me, Andy, did you think Sapphire, my own wife, has got a boyfriend?
Well, the way he write, he don't sound like no enemy.
No.
This is Ken Carpenter. Friends, here's something that seems pretty wonderful to me, and I'm sure it does to you, too. The Rinso that you get at the store today, new 1950 Rinso, gets white clothes whiter than new and washable colors brighter than new because only Rinso contains Solium. Now, it's proven fact that no other soap can get your wash so white or colors so bright. Your clothes turn out Rinso new. Why, you know, even on rainy days, even if you have to dry your wash indoors, wonderful Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. 1950 Rinso gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. And yet Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. You better stop in at the store and get the economical giant size of new 1950 Rinso with Solium. And then see for yourself what an amazingly beautiful wash new Rinso gives you.
Andy, come on in with me to Calhoun's office here. Being a lawyer, he must run into a lot of these husband and wife problems.
Oh, yeah, and you was in a mess, all right, with some fella writing Sapphire love notes.
Yeah.
Say, but listen, Kingfish, if you tell Calhoun here your problem, he gonna blab it all over town.
Yeah, well, I got that figured out, Andy.
Oh.
I ain't gonna tell him it's me and Sapphire, you see. I gonna make out that I asked an advice for a friend of mine. Come on, let's go on in here, Andy. Hello there, Calhoun.
Well, gentlemen, come on in. This is a pleasure, a real pleasure.
Glad to see you, Calhoun.
Yeah, Calhoun, I want to ask you for some serious advice. It's about a friend of mine. Sorry I can't give you his name. Got to keep the whole thing tick-fishes, you know.
What's it all about?
Yeah, go ahead, Kingfish. Tell him your friend's problem now.
Yeah, well, now, here's the thing, Calhoun. A certain fella, not mentioning no names, is suspicious of his wife, who will be nameless. Because he found out that she received a certain something, not saying what, from a certain man, not saying who. Is that clear?
Like crystal.
Yeah, like crystal. Yeah, well, now, what must this certain fella do?
Only one thing he can do.
Let this certain somebody who is married to a nameless nobody do a certain something, not saying what, and then he and his wife can patch things up, not saying how.
You know, that's what I like about you two. No beating around the bush.
Yeah. Look, Calhoun, putting the cards on the table. This friend of mine's been having trouble with his wife. Now, what must it do?
Do what everybody else does.
What's that? Tell me that.
Well, there's a marital relation expert got offices right around the corner, named Williams, and everybody been going to him. Why don't you send your friend around there?
Marital relation expert, huh?
Yeah.
You think he can help?
Why, sure. He handles all marriage problems, from a friendly argument right up to a fractured skull.
Well, I'll go to see the fella, Calhoun, but I sure hope my friend ain't married to the wrong woman.
Kingfish, when it comes to marriage, every woman is the wrong woman.
Well, thanks for the advice about the marriage expert. I'll tell my friend about him. I'm sorry I can't tell you who my friend is, but of course it's a big secret, you know.
Yeah, the Kingfish got to keep the thing on the QT for his friend's sake.
Yeah, that's why all them names are so mysterious, you see.
Oh, that's all right, Kingfish. I ain't got to know his name. But I just hope you and Sapphire don't split up.
Well, we is the last ones left in the waiting room, Kingfish. Tell me this. Is you sure you made an appointment with this marital relations expert?
Yeah, and I done called this Miss Williams up and made an appointment about an hour ago. No. Give him all the details over the telephone. Oh, he expect me. He said to have all the answers ready for me. Wait a minute. Here comes the man now.
Well, how do you do? Oh, you poor man. I can tell you're having a serious marital problem, Mr. Stevens, by the way you're standing there in a stupor.
Hi, it's Brown. There's Mr. Stevens over there.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Mr. Stevens, won't you come in the office?
Yeah, sir. See you later, Andy.
Yeah, I'm going to get on home. Good luck to you, Kingfish.
Well, sit down, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, thank you, sir, yeah.
Now, Mr. Stevens, since you called, I've been thinking your problem over, and I think I have the solution.
Oh, that's fine. You sure got an angle fast, all right, didn't you?
Oh, no, Mr. Stevens, I don't deal in angles. I'm just an ordinary man who happens to have the ability of putting my finger on the crux of any marital disagreement.
Well, you say you got my problem all figured out, huh?
Yes. In your case, the thing to do is to marry the wealthy widow and send the 7 children to a boarding school.
Now, wait a minute. You got your finger on the wrong crux there. You see, I ain't the widow and 7 children deal. I was just a love letter to the wife sucker. That's what I am.
I had you confused with another client. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, no harm done. I'll remember that in vice case I ever run into a widow with 7 children.
Now, as I understand it, your wife received a love letter.
Yeah, so that's right. I found it while I was rummaging through my wife's dresser drawer, you see. Now, I don't know who sent it to her, though.
Well, we'll just call the other man X.
X?
Yes, it means unknown. When we come across something that's unexplainable, something that we've never seen before, we put down X. Now, what does your wife look like?
Well, she, you better put down another X there.
Yes. Well, as I see the whole situation, Mr. Stevens, I've decided that this love letter represents a serious threat to your connubial bliss.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's messing up my married life, too.
Well, Mr. Stevens, the solution to your problem is simple. 1, remember that you're a man, and the man is the stronger sex.
Man is the stronger sex, huh?
Right. And 2, demand an explanation from your wife about that love letter.
Yeah, that's good advice, all right. I remember them things.
Yeah. Well, that will be $10, please.
Yeah, $10,
yeah. Now, Mr. Stevens, I wonder if you'd mind leaving by the side door. I have another patient coming.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Send in the next patient, nurse. This will make the 18th case of marital trouble that I've straightened out today. 2 more, and I'll make enough to pay my wife's alimony. Oh, come in, madam. And what is your name?
Well, I'd rather use my maiden name. It's Sapphire Smith.
Oh, yes, I've been expecting you. You're the widow with the 7 children.
No. Remember, I phoned you about having trouble with my husband about another woman.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, madam, the solution to your problem is simple. Remember, you're a woman, and the woman is the stronger sex. Now, you go to your husband and demand an explanation.
George is home, because after talking to that Mr. Williams, I certainly have got something to tell him.
Well, Sapphire, I'm glad you're home. I want to talk to you.
I want to talk to you, too, George. I want you to know that I happen to be a woman and that I am the stronger sex.
Well, and I want to tell you that I, as a man, and I, you kind of beat me to the punch there, didn't you?
And another thing, I demand an explanation of that love letter.
Look like we getting our dope out the same feed box here. Now, look here, Sapphire, Stephen. The thing I want to know is who wrote that love letter I found in your dresser drawer.
I don't know what you're talking about, but what I want to know is who did you write that love letter to that I found in your suit?
Well, now, listen here, Sapphire. You just trying to change the whole...
Hello there, folks.
Come on in here, Leroy.
I could hear y'all arguing way down the block. What's the matter now?
Well, Leroy, the truth is that some fella done writ your sister here a love letter.
That ain't it at all. George writ some woman a love letter.
Well, I don't know how that letter got bounced around, but I think I know the letter y'all talking about, and I can explain the whole thing.
Yeah, well, here's the letter, Leroy. Let me see you explain that.
George, don't you recognize your own handwriting? Why, this is a love letter that you writ to Sapphire before you was married. I thought that if you both read the letter, you might be able to recapture the love you once had for each other.
George, let me see that letter again.
You too.
My dearest darling, you are so young and beautiful. I cannot live without you. Signed, your affectionate sweetheart. George, you wrote that love letter to me 22 years ago. It was your proposal.
Yeah. Let me see the thing. Yeah, that's my writing, all right.
George, that letter does something to me. Don't it make you realize something, too?
Yeah, it do, honey. It make me realize something very important.
Really, George?
Yeah, if I hadn't written that fool letter, I wouldn't be in the mess I've been in for 22 years. Say, Andy.
What is it, Amos?
You know, Ken Carpenter is about to say something that's very important, and there must be a very good reason for it.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, now, just listen to him. Go ahead, Miss Carpenter.
More women use Rinso than any other wash day soap in the world.
Yes, folks, there must be a good reason for that.
Well, there is, because 1950 Rinso actually gets your white clothes whiter than new and washable colors brighter than new. Yes, Rinso new. Rinso is great for dishes, too. Rinso makes the hardest part of dishwashing easier. Your pots and pans really shine. Get the economical giant-size Rinso with Solium.
Good night, folks.
See you next Sunday.
Be sure to be with us next Sunday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company, the makers of new Rinso with Solium, will again present the Amos and Andy Show.
Lifebuoy Get Skin Cleaner gives you longer all-over protection after your daily bath. Remember, there's not just one or two, but 13 areas of the skin where doctors have found BO. Lifebuoy protects you all over, gives you top 24-hour security. Get Lifebuoy right away.
Be sure and listen to the Amos and Andy Show at this same time next Sunday. Stay tuned for the Edgar Berg and Charlie McCarthy Show, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.